So I have a little modification to the Japanese ikigai, which is instead of doing what you love, the top one, I want you to think about where you learn. Because as a recruiter, I've found that what you love is when you're in a place of learning. So what really helps us lower our stress when we think about technology is what can you control? Where you learn, how you learn, what you're doing. And so I want us to harness today the things that you can control so we feel really lifted by technology. Technology allows us to learn anywhere. We can be a child, we can explore, we can go onto these platforms and code and learn digital design. Anything you want to learn now, you can do, which is so exciting because I know nothing about astrophysics, and my son found Neil deGrasse Tyson online and watched every YouTube he's ever done, and then started applying to NASA to things that I couldn't even explain. And he didn't have to have his high school have a program for this. It was available online. So this is what's possible for all of us. It's really quite exciting. And there's nothing like Silicon Valley without mentioning Steve Jobs. So, the death of the expert. He famously said, I did not hire an expert to develop the iPhone. The iPhone was not, didn't have expert. We're creating it. What we need is what IDEO calls the T, which is expertise in something, but the ability to collaborate and see across disciplines. That's where creativity flourishes. So the idea of being an expert is no longer it. Now we have to think about how we work, which is embracing neuroscience, which is protecting our prefrontal cortex, and not the long hours of social science of the ideal worker. We have to think about how we are the most innovative and the most human, because that's what differentiates us. So I want you to embrace the science of using your alarm not to wake up. Reverse the rules. Use your alarm to go to sleep. Have it tell you when to go to sleep. You need that 7 hours to fuel your brain. You need to move throughout the day, and you need to embrace the social science of co-creating your job. So job crafting is a new movement that allows us to say, how are we participants in the work we do? How are we creating the work, not receiving the work? Because the way we look at our jobs matters. Learned optimism is a thing, and it allows you to see things that weren't previously possible. So if we fear the robots and AI, we sort of make that happen for ourselves. If we actually use our brain to filter through all the information and focus on what matters most, that's what the reticular activating system does. We harness what matters most and we focus on the positivity and what's possible. So, what robots don't have is this. What we do is we have this. We're creative, we're innovative, and this is what drives us and makes us do our best and highest work. So the robots take away the rote work, the stuff that you don't want to do, right? When John Boudreau did our keynote, he talked about that. So we don't want to think anymore about being busy. I like to say, what do we take away, not just what do we add? And I want you to take away the word busy. That means someone else is putting out on your calendar what matters to you. I want you to follow the leaders who lift us. So Institute for the Future, Dr. Vivian Ming, Dr. Ken Goldberg out of Berkeley. They're wonderful people to follow that I want you to use your reticular activating system to say, how do I pay attention to the leaders who lift us? Because a lot of the leaders say, this stuff's not going to happen anytime soon, and you can be entirely ahead of it. Like 92% believe it's going to happen somewhere between 25% or 25 years and like never. So you are on the cusp of saying, how do we focus on where we learn, things that matter in the world, things that we really want to do well, and doing it in a way that we feel financially secure so our brain does its best and highest work. Because I want all of you to do your best work on terms that work for your full life without regrets. Thank you.